All right, welcome back to part two. Again, this is the last episode of Asphalt Trouble. So we pick up at the dramatic opening scene of this ride, this last ride of the Hellhounds. So, I think the engagement type, pull up the list again, is going to be pretty straightforward. It sounds like an assault of some variety, whether it's just like waiting to assault first or whatnot. Do violence to a target.
Violence will definitely be done.
Yes. So, I am gonna do the engagement roll. Should have probably done that during the break instead of just.
Then we don't see the dice roll.
Yeah.
We don't see it
Gotta
anyway.
inform the audience how bad our chances are.
Yeah, I can roll
It's
this
a
one.
secret
Publicly.
GM one.
Yeah. It usually is, but I can roll this one publicly. So, you have 4 open road, I believe. So, 6 plus 4, 8. All right. That's what I was hoping for. So.
Oh no, no, that's not good.
Well, it's the most exciting one.
That's true.
For a last one, it's basically it's all of the gangs get involved. So, the questions. Are you all engaging on your bikes?
Yes.
Is this particularly bold or daring?
I would say so.
Okay. Is this overly complex or contingent on many factors?
It's contingent on
I think
a factor.
I think it's contingent on a couple of factors, perhaps a couple too many. Does it expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Not particularly, I don't think. Are they strong against this approach?
On their ships.
Yeah, I guess if your plan is to take their ships.
Yeah, our plan is to wait until their infantry are in the city
Yeah.
and then take the ships.
So I guess that's a vulnerability, sure. Are they strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? Not in particular.
I mean, the approach in general is assault, right? Like, I would.
Right.
They're probably just higher, more equipped than us, right?
Well, that
Yeah,
tier
that's
is a different factor.
That's a different question, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Presumably.
Yeah, so we kind of alluded to some of the other gangs. Oh, and are you doing anything for Serrated K?
I'm thinking it might be a flashback.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
fine. All right. So, I guess the stilettos have been kind of your informants almost of the corporate movements as well. So I'll add what they can tell Kiki as a die. Are any enemies or rivals interfering, or is it under active corporate control? So, yes, because
Yes.
yes. Are there any other elements that you want to consider, such as relative tier? Yeah, with the corporations are at max tier. That's basically -1 die. So I got 1 die left, so I'm going to roll for it this time. All right. So
Desperate.
Great, love it.
Well,
That's
Uh-huh.
a
Love to see it.
that's a desperate situation for the corporation, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely.
they got us surrounded, the poor fools.
Yeah. So I think, and I think we'd alluded to this between sessions. I think you arrived too late, is what that is. So, you thought that you would have a little bit of time to kind of trap them in and get on the boats, but they're moving faster than you expected, and you have no good opportunities to board the ships. from a vantage point overlooking Tidehome as you approach, you can see that they have already brought forward a couple of battleships and a couple like carriers, like a troop carrier kind of ships that have those ones have docked on the shore basically. Tidehome is built on kind of a cliff face almost, so they ride up to right where the cliff edge is and unload, and some of those like armored vehicles and stuff that you saw on the other battleship begin to move out and move into the city, and some of them move away from the city towards other points of interest around the area. You're positioned near some of these ships. Your plan is to get on them, and they're still somewhat defended. You have the opportunity to choose to abandon that plan if you want to, given the situation, change something up. At some point, you're going to probably want to address the ones that are not going into Tidehome as well. But you can choose whether to do that before or after you deal with the ships.
Well, Seth, I think this would be a really good time for that bomb to go off.
Where do you need it to go off?
In the lab, like we discussed. Setting up an ambush for him with the
yes,
condors.
the bomb that we set in the flashback that we're about to detail.
Yeah, that bomb.
Yep.
Let's go with a flashback to basically the day before, however long before, Seth riding to meet with the condors.
Mm-hmm.
And basically setting up with them kind of so they are, aware of the plan of let them in, give enough resistance to where they feel like they're pushing through, let them try and push them a little bit into the lab, and then press this button, or, set up something to where they don't want to be in there anymore.
Okay. Sure. No problem. So, I think that sounds like an acquire asset kind of roll to get the explosives.
That sounds fair. Acquire asset, and that would be with the gang's tier?
Yeah.
Yep.
Generally.
So,
Alrighty.
It'll probably cost a couple script.
Oh, even if we roll well?
Yeah, because you've got to, buy things from them or whatnot. Yeah.
Gotta buy explosives. Bunch of
I'll-
fertilizer.
I'll
Right.
take it from the crew stash.
Yeah.
All right, 46. Let's see. Hey, there's
Right,
a 6.
okay. Yeah, so you're able to get a good amount of explosives. It will cost 2 script, but enough to take out a large chunk of unsuspecting corporate goons.
Is it possible during this conversation to have told the condors to evacuate the civilians
Sure.
from Tidehome?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, let's see. We see Huxley Snyder, your contact, the rogue meteorologist who used to be with the Numbers, is wrapped up with the Carrion as his background. The Numbers being a gang of census takers and the like who look after townsfolk. He's called them in from out of the area. They have wide connections to lots of townsfolk and are able to relocate a lot of them easily. So we see like a mass exodus basically of Tidehome. I imagine that was your goal, right? Get them out of Tidehome altogether. Yeah.
Yes.
In the flashback,
yes.
yeah.
Right, exactly. All right, so who wants to roll the explosive, or should I have it be a fortune roll from the condors?
I could rig it if I was there, but I think having the the Condors roll it would also make sense, or just have it be based
Yeah,
on the quality.
Yeah, well, the quality will determine the effect. So we'll have them roll because they're also tier 4, so that's a lot of dice. So
They know what they're doing.
yeah, right.
Hopefully.
Go.
Oh,
Certainly.
I think you hit that roll.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was possible.
It's only for GMs.
I might have done because I've been playing on Discord and it's exclamation point roll instead of slash roll, so I think that's what I did.
There we go. Hey.
Sweet.
Nice, 6. 6, but just barely. So, yeah, there is a big explosion in the center of Tide Home, and that draws a lot more of the corporate forces in to help figure out what's going on and start trying to recover.
Excellent.
So that gives you more of an opening.
Yeah. I do think it's still important to take these boats. If
Yeah,
anything,
definitely.
to remove them from their control.
Right. So they are still docked with huge, big gangways down, which you can ride onto.
Yep. I think that's our plan.
All right.
Yeah, so the only thing I'd want to do then is flashback to before this.
Mm-hmm.
And while they were talking with all the townsfolk and so on, I want to have our gang rig up basically a big version of the like the warehouse device that Serrated K had.
Okay.
Rig up one of those out and just like buried in the sand so we can detonate it and turn off all their guns before we ride straight into them.
Okay. So, yeah, you're basically taking the device from the warehouse to here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you want that? That sounds like perhaps a setup roll of some kind.
Yeah, to improve our position.
Right. Sure. What role would you like that to be?
I was thinking rig makes the most sense. I could
Sure.
also see disable.
Yeah, it's probably disable would make the most sense, I think.
Okay. And then I'm group actioning this with our expert eggheads.
Okay.
That improves the effect, right? Not the roll.
So, there's not like a specific cohorts assisting you for effect mechanic. You can have them set it up. I guess again, just kind of
I mean,
narrative.
yeah, if they want to, if I can just have them roll it, that's way more dice. So.
You can have them roll it in the flashback if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll just have them.
Something. Yeah. So
set it up
they've
for
set
me.
this up the night before or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's also 4 dice. It's just going to be me rolling this entire ride.
Blades in the dark.
Really
the GM
well
doesn't
so
have to
far.
roll. Psych.
Exactly.
All right, they got it.
All right, they got it. So they managed to set this up. I should maybe have given them a position effect, even though it's not technically an action roll, as I think there would be some risk to this going off and harming you. But they got it anyway. So it's there's this like buried EMP like kind of thing that you can set off for improved position as you roll in.
All right. So I will detonate that before we get into range, and then we will ride up the ramps and take the ships.
Okay.
How many ships are there that we're dealing with?
So there are 3 that are offloading, and then 2 that are just like providing cover fire and that kind of thing.
Okay. Then I think probably have one person go with each group of the gang and take all 3 ships at once would make the most sense.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, let's split the party.
Sounds like fun. There are 4 of you and 3 ships, so
I was going to, as ever, suggest that I stay behind. And I was gonna actually ask because if there's like distance between the ships and where we're at, or like where they're about to go,
Mhm.
In our normal equipment there is the option for a rifle. But would it be? Could I do like an acquire asset to have more like a sniper rifle or like a better scope or something like that?
Sure, yeah, you can acquire a scope or something. Yeah.
Would you like that to be more than a flashback, a roll of any sort, or?
Um,
Just acquire
no,
asset,
yeah,
maybe?
you can, I think it's an acquire asset, but you're high enough tier that you can get your hands on that.
Okay, so I would say that would probably be what Anthony would do, like hold back, and that way I can be trying to assist each individual.
Yeah, wherever it's going worse.
Okay. All right.
Probably my ship.
Sounds good. So, who wants to ride in first then?
Kiki.
Got it.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I took this neat ability that says whenever there's a question of who asks
yeah.
first, the answer is
Right.
you. So,
Yep. So there you go.
Problem solved.
So, yes, you charge in first before they can get their bearings. Yeah. So, what would you like to do as you go up, or how do you go up and that kind of thing?
so I think this is Kiki leading the charge of her group of cohorts. And she instructs our crew to essentially mob the control room because that's going to be the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
And as they are doing that and taking control of the controls of the ship, Kiki is going to stay outside of the room, basically above deck, and guard the room from intruders.
Okay. So step one then is getting in there, and there are still some guards.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to get past them.
Awesome. Sounds like a clash, maybe?
Sure, yeah.
Good. So
I'm going to say that because the device that went off was designed for like a room, only one of you can really benefit from the like gun knockout. So I'll let you decide who is going to get that.
nah,
So
I don't need it.
Okay. Well, I was trying to say we would rig it up with, actually spending some script and rolling.
If you want to do
make
that,
it bigger.
that's
That's
cool.
what I'm saying. We're not just moving it, but ring it up. But
Yeah, it's still like a corporate device. I guess you can like
affecting one ship is fine because Kiki doesn't need it. Seth has it built into his arm, so I can just use it on my ship.
exactly right. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna fight my way through.
Yeah, it sounds like a desperate standard clash.
Cool. Big money, no whammies. Yes.
Nice. Okay.
No whammies.
All right.
So, oh no, only if it's less than 6,
oh,
right?
Yep, exactly. But you do get experience. So, yeah, you're able to push through, disarm or incapacitate the guards in between you and the control area.
Yeah. Kiki's laughing the whole time. She's having the time of her life.
Coming up from below decks, there is a hatch that opens, and like a single vehicle comes up.
Oh no.
You're now face to face with a like corporate armored car who wants to blast you out of the way. What would you like to do? It's trying to get into the control tower.
I would. So it's basically like an armored Humvee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call back to mission 1 and try to stab the driver.
Okay, sure.
This is. I don't like rolling so many in succession. This is gonna be bad. What's my
You got
positioning?
this.
Yeah, so still desperate.
Uh-huh.
I think limited to try to because the door is closed and it's like an armored vehicle, so I think desperate limited.
Okay.
Can Anthony set you up here with some armor-piercing rounds or anything?
Yeah, but then I'd have to shoot.
Yeah, armor
Oh,
piercing sword.
well, no,
I'm not so
a
good at
setup
that.
isn't the same as group action, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not like.
Oh, I see. You're saying that you would.
Well,
pierce the armor.
Anthony's got a sniper rifle, so
Right.
he could-
Right.
Right. So you knock the door off or something with.
or shoot the gunner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down if a setup action is appropriate.
Yeah, you can do that. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no exposed people, but you could definitely shoot either the turret that's on top of it or the driver door to get it open or something like that.
Yeah, I think trying to break the glass so that Kiki slashes in and the glass is compromised.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a risky standard shoot.
Okay. I will not drop it to desperate, despite my penchant for wanting to do so. Only because I think it does not involve the consequences involving me.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll leave it there. Oh, wow.
Ooh. Okay. So
Oh no.
it bounces off the bulletproof window.
Weird how that works.
Yeah. Yeah, your gun is not quiet, and one of the vehicles that was driving kind of past has spotted you. So,
Oh, no.
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was desperate, right?
No, it's
No.
still just
Risky.
Or risky. Okay. Never mind.
Yep. So you
Oh.
could take a short-term exposed setback.
Okay.
Alright.
And presumably the vehicle swerves or heads this direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go through with my action.
Okay.
Yes!
Yeah, still succeeded though. So, you managed to stab in, and I think that, you managed to pry the door open. So I'm imagining you stabbing straight through the door with your greatsword, or claymore, or whatever it was, and then, we see Kiki just pry open the metal, and the driver is trying to keep control of the vehicle and swerve out of the way, and loses a bit of control and gets slashed a little bit by the sword, but now you've got a straight shot to do more damage.
And you mark another XP. We're almost at
I do mark
another
another
level of
XP.
steel.
Yeah.
One more desperate roll and you get an extra die.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what? You're so right.
Mhm.
If the camera's still on me, I'm going to press the attack.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll do one ship at a time, basically. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so another desperate.
Yep.
I think this time you've made it standard, so desperate standard clash
Okay.
2.
Yep.
You see that he's got a also a very sci-fi robotic arm more than a post-apocalyptic robotic arm. And he's using that to try to parry your sword as well.
Okay. I'm gonna save my stress and just risk it.
All right.
Ha!
Wow. Okay.
Kiki can't lose.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
yeah, you managed to get past this arm and kill this guy. And now you have this vehicle, and the rest of the guards are either incapacitated by the rest of the your cohorts, or are cowed by you and the vehicle.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. So, moving on to the next ship. Who wants to go?
So I have an idea. So Seth has decided he's not a biker anymore. He's playing a James Bond game. So basically the idea is the eggheads are going to, or not the, I keep calling them eggheads, but
They
his
are
group,
technically eggheads.
the egghead muscle guys, they're going to be basically doing an attack, causing a little bit of chaos and confusion, and Seth is going to sneak on with his nice holographic disguise, looking like one of the crew members.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, so that sounds like a conceal. Sounds like a desperate standard conceal, I think.
That's completely fair. I'm just curious, do I want to push on this? No, I'm going to save it for resisting consequences just in case. Alrighty. Yeah, let's just go for it. See where. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Wow.
Yep. No one is getting any fuse sticks. That's fine.
We've got time.
Yeah. So you are now on the ship, disguised as one of the crew. Everyone is busy working, trying to get the ship dislodged from the shore and get the people who these ruffians off the ship.
Now, step 2 would be, what sort of flashback would it be to basically find out the ship has some sort of thing that could overheat and basically completely make the ship useless or explode?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a one stress flashback, because you've already got a bunch of corporate information and stuff. So
perfect. Then I think that's the next step, is basically making his way through the ship. Very calm, passes a pillar, changes into a different guy, so it looks, less suspicious he's in this area, and makes his way down the ship into the nuclear reactor. I don't know what is it?
Right. So sure, basically, yes.
It's the kelp power plant.
Kelp
Right. Right.
But yeah, the bioreactor, whatever.
Yeah.
I think the goal from there is to find a way to press whatever buttons he needs to overheat it.
Okay. Sounds like a disable.
That is totally fair. Let's see, disable.
Yeah, so a desperate, I think desperate great disable.
Desperate great sounds good. I am definitely going to grit my teeth on this one for that extra die. Yeah, I think that's it. Well, yeah, I think that'll be it. Because I can't think of anything else I can do to push that up right now. So, or actually, oh no, Devil's Bargain can't do with the grit your teeth, right?
Right, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Okay.
5.
All right.
So the good news is there's a tick on the fuse clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, come on, I keep clicking the wrong thing. So, yes, you managed to hit all the wrong buttons that set it off, and there's a big warning flashing thing. An alarm goes out over the whole boat, and a number of people come rushing down to the underbelly of the ship where you are to try to save the reactor, and see you there. So you are surrounded. You muted.
You muted.
So,
Still the disguise though, right? Do they know?
still in disguise. So I'm debating on either trying to either play this off or
It's my first day.
I didn't know what I was doing. Or the other one is you may expend your special armor to resist the consequence of detection or security measures, even if the
Oh.
detector is a high-tech system
Mm-hmm.
or degree. So I'm debating on that, or maybe I save that if I need to somehow jump off the ship later.
So
Okay.
one of the special abilities I picked up does let me repair somebody's special armor if I roll well enough. So spending it early might be better.
Oh, you know
For some
what?
extra info.
I think yeah, so I'll expend that special armor.
Okay.
And basically how that looks is, everyone rushes down and they expect to see Seth, and he just kind of does the hands up thing of like pointing, and then everyone kind of goes to look at it. And when everyone goes to look, he slips out the door and
Okay. All right. So yes, you managed to get away. I can see you hitting one last button to make sure that they don't accidentally turn it off.
maybe he leaves like a switchblade like stabbed into the console
Oh,
or something like that.
perfect.
So
Yep. Yeah. So you get back to the top and presumably get off the ship before it explodes.
oh yeah, he actually, you know what? Just because of the soft thing, I think he starts trying to convince people to abandon ship a little bit on the way out,
Okay.
even if it's a little bit
Sure.
dangerous.
Okay, yeah. So I don't think that needs a roll. I think just like
Okay.
Disguised as the captain. Abandon ship.
yes. So some people are beginning to panic and follow you. I think that's
Okay.
fine. Mostly, and because you have the bound in blood, you know that they are all bound in a contract to a corporation. So perhaps because you can also, if you want to decipher the stipulations of the contract, you can get a lot of them to leave, like cite some clause in their contract to force them off.
Yeah, well, actually, according to Clause 2B, because it's actually
Right.
on this day and you're working overtime and the ship is going down, you are actually allowed to leave to save your own life. Not giving you explicit orders not to.
Exactly.
If
Right.
you're on the ship when it goes down, you're liable for it. Diving off in every direction.
Right. Exactly. Do you want to try to do that? I think that's going to be like a controlled standard decipher.
That sounds good. Controlled standard, why not? So I'll just do a straight roll just to see how that works.
Sure.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So I think you get some people off. Some people give you like a strange look, and like you didn't get. I think that's going to be like a reduced effect. Basically, you get some people off, not all of them. And then the last ship.
Yeah, so here's the plan that I'm thinking. The gang moves up onto the ship, controls part of the deck, and then I come up behind them, and I want to plug into a data jack or what have you,
Okay.
and hack into the ship systems.
Okay. Typically, you were trying to command the ship to do something, or command the ship's systems to do something.
So I'm going to try to command the ship to set off the exact same alarm that Seth just did, that the reactor is melting down and it's about to blow up, just without actually having the reactor be about to blow up.
Okay. I think it's going to be desperate standard then.
Okay, so it's desperate even though this is the ship where the Pulse took out all their guns?
Yeah, oh right, so that makes it risky standard.
Okie doke. Then I will trade that up to Desperate Greater.
So do you want the greater to be that you actually set the reactor to overload, or like...
No, I'm planning on using this ship, so I'm
Okay.
thinking the greater would be more like, well, ideally what I would want is to jump over to one of the other to one of the further out ships and get an access to that before they lock their network down.
Yeah, I see. Sure. Okay.
And that means I might be dealing with more of their like elite anti-hackers on their ship.
Yeah, exactly. Desperate great then.
Okay. And I will spend 2 stress for an extra die on this. Anything else I can add? Nope. Alright. 6.
Pretty good. All right. So, yeah, you managed to get into the system, and an alarm goes off. So, did the rest of your cohorts come on with you, or or
Yeah,
were they
yeah,
all on the
they're
other
holding
ship?
the
Yeah,
day.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, during all this, suddenly the alarm goes off, and people begin the same way, running down to see if they can save the ship from going up. And yeah, you have access to the uh, sitrep network for the ships.
Great. Okay. So I'm going to quickly radio in with the rest of the crew and make sure that they've taken over their ships.
Mm-hmm. You see an explosion.
Damn it, Seth! All right. So I'm going, since our gangplank is still down. I'm gonna tell Kiki to go ahead, and I'm gonna say have Seth and his crew come get on my boat, and then we're gonna push out to take over the battleships.
Okay. And are you getting Anthony on your boat too, or who?
Anthony, you want to jump down and get on Kiki's boat or our boat, or stay way far away?
I mean Anthony can get there regardless. So
Yeah.
Oh right, you got a flying motorcycle.
Right. Yeah. So you, that vehicle that was going for Anthony is going to watch you leave and get to the ship unless you try to hide
No, I
yourself
wanna-
somewhere,
I want to disable the vehicle.
Oh, okay, you can do that first. So let's finish up with Duck's ship, though,
Yeah,
because you
that's
don't
fine.
have full control over the ship. You just caused it to panic.
Oh, okay, yeah. I figured people were jumping overboard, but they're not yet.
Well, some people are still underneath trying to get the reactor, trying to save the reactor.
Okay. So I'd like to use rig to go to the hatch and just weld it closed.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right.
I think that sounds like a risky great, especially if you can have your cohorts also weld every other access point closed and everything. Yeah. Yep. I think that sounds like risky great.
5.
Okay. So, I think you've welded some the bridge closed too as well, so that the captain and anyone can't come down, and that gives you more limited control over the ship.
Yeah, just fly by wire with the hacking
Right,
stuff.
exactly. And perhaps it also took a little bit more time, so you're gonna. I think I'll start a wheel of how soon before your hack is detected and countered.
So one of the ships.
So I'd be interested in resisting that consequence. What type of resist would that be?
Resolve.
Then yeah, I'll go ahead and resist that.
Okay.
Actually, because I really don't want to trauma out right now. If I flashback and inhabit my haunt real quick, can I do that first? Before I resist?
Yeah, sure. If you want to spend the script for an extra downtime.
Yep. I'll do that.
Or you've got a thing, right? You may flashback.
I do, yeah. But I'm gonna spend script on this.
Okay.
Again, because I just rolled 1 again. All right, this time I overindulged. Awesome.
Okay. So first of all, your ability lets one of those be free, so you don't have to spend the script.
Right, but I want to pay
but
for
then
it.
the
It
other
also
one,
makes it also makes it a free flashback.
Yeah, right. But then, we didn't get to go into these rules yet.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, so the first one is me just trying to get things done at the hospital, and again I'm just super frustrated and completely fail, and so I'm thinking this 5 is I just roll in and I try to take over the place. I have my crew come in and I'm just pushing mercy givers out of the way, and I'm like, look, we're doing things my way, we're getting this all taken care of. And so I'm thinking the overindulged consequences, I'm probably kicked out of my haunt.
Oh, okay. So so in this game it's called Overstaying Your Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, one of the options is the owner of your haunt needs you to leave. They might be compromised by another gang or corporation and will not let you back until you realign their loyalties, or you can find a new haunt.
So I'm thinking the Mercy Givers are the gang that
yeah,
takes
so the
over
Mercy
here.
Givers are... It doesn't quite make sense that they would have been bought out. Well, maybe they have been bought out by the corporations. So,
Corporation
Seth, you would
dollars
know
and
this.
some parts.
I should have mentioned that. No, it's...
Yeah, right.
Maybe they were bought out by the corporate. At least I think they have been.
Yeah, right.
Like, how
well,
dare
maybe
you?
they have, maybe they haven't. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
All right.
So now I'm going to resist.
Okay.
No stress. All right.
All
Good.
right. Perfect. All right.
My hack has not been detected yet.
Correct. So, yeah, now you've got control of the ship, and we can go to Anthony, trying to disable the this armored vehicle that's coming towards you.
Yeah, so I assume it's a similar situation to what Kiki was dealing with.
Yep. Right.
And Solo, I assume like one of
Yes.
these armored vehicles breaks off.
Right.
So yeah, I want to try to. I mean, obviously it's coming at me. There's probably a bit of a scene. Obviously, Anthony would have been watching Seth, and Seth blends in, or like I lose sight of him, and or he just goes below deck. Like I stop watching his ship almost immediately, and I probably watch Doc for a while, considering that I imagine he's out in the open, on the deck. You know what I mean? So like
Sure.
watching around, make sure nobody's about to just get free shots on him because he's like trying to interface with a console before I have to respond to this vehicle coming at me. And eventually I just kind of holster or throw the rifle back together and jump onto the Chimera.
Right.
Where I will attempt to effectively play chicken with this thing. But I guess that depends on whether or not they're going to start shooting me with the machine gun or
Yeah,
whatever.
they probably start shooting you before you get right up to it.
Yeah.
So.
My goal is to like get to or on the vehicle.
Okay.
Before they like get me. You know what I mean? So does that seem like maneuver? I guess.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a desperate maneuver, desperate standard.
Okay. So I'm trying to get to it, and like obviously at the last moment, the thing's going to just like leap into the air or jump on top of the thing.
Right. Yep.
So I've got 3, and I guess we'll just go with 3 for now. And from my ability, piloting non-bike vehicles is +1 effect.
Yeah, so I took that into account because I think normally piloting a robot is going to be a like limited effect. So.
Okay, so that's already... Yep, just making sure then.
Yep.
Okay, so 3d6.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay. So yeah, you get just shot up, basically.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
So,
Uh-huh.
I have this ability, Reaper,
Mm-hmm.
that says, I always appear where I'm least wanted. When not otherwise occupied, you can suddenly show up to confront any opponent engaging another PC.
Uh-huh.
Can I show up to protect Anthony?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We don't ask how, but yes.
Well, he spent all that time watching Doc.
Okay,
right.
Seth, you blew up your ship. Kiki, are you at least piloting your ship?
No response.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't take a radio.
Nobody takes the radio.
It's just out of spite at this point, really.
On the
Yeah.
topic of radios, we never did declare load, but I assume everyone's going.
Oh
heavy.
shit, yeah, heavy. Definitely.
Seth has never gone above light.
That's fine.
Just out of principle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so can I resist with steel?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And I get plus 1d to my resistance roll.
So you show up. Where exactly do you show up, and what do you do?
I think
You've still got the anti-gun arm, so if you
I
just
do still have
tap
the anti-gun
gun-
arm, but that's less rad.
Ah,
Yes.
Rule of cool is very important.
Yeah, we're not looking for
Yeah.
dock
Essential.
solutions.
Right.
I think. So, were you like jumping down on top of this thing, Anthony?
So I imagine, especially with a really horrendous roll like this, I probably installed this thing, like put it together. There was probably a lot going on, and maybe I didn't get a chance to ride it or like try it out terribly much. So I imagine I'm running at this vehicle, and it starts shooting, and I try to use the like hover mechanism or try to maneuver, and I think it like sputters or doesn't like activate immediately, and I'm like in line, like an easy target for this vehicle coming at me, and I don't successfully like leap out of the way. Like maybe the Panther kind of like jumps up but comes back down to the ground, and it's just like not breaking that line of fire.
Right. And it's firing with the turret, Jacob?
Yes.
Okay. I think that from like we have a low angle shot of Anthony kind of facing the armored vehicle as it's bearing down on him, and then just over the top of it you see a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
As Kiki jumps on top of the vehicle, and then I think she just tries to strong arm the turret, and in science fantasy land she would bend it, but in reality it's probably more like moving it so it doesn't, like just adjusting the aim.
Right. Sure.
But basically strong arming it so it's no longer pointed at Anthony.
Yeah. Right. You have a big lever that can help with that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So you can roll steel.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
0 stress.
All right.
His luck is gonna run out real bad.
Anthony, do you still want to try to disable this thing?
Yeah, I do. Would like to.
Okay.
Fuse tick still though. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
That would have been. Is that? I was just going to ask. Out of that situation, was that the only consequence? Is there anything else that needs to be declared?
It also like. No, I mean I think that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's it. That's sufficient.
Sure. If that would have gone through, then Anthony'd be through.
Right.
So yeah, I will subsequently hopefully get control of the Panther and try to leap up and use its head to more science fiction-y bite the gun, like mangle the barrels, right?
All right. Go for it. So I could see either a clash or a disable probably for that.
Sure. I can go for clash.
Yeah, I think probably still desperate. Yeah,
you want to do some
desperate.
teamwork
Great,
on
though, I
that,
think.
Kiki? You throw in an assist or a setup?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Should we have gotten a fuse stick for that last one, or did you already account
We
for
did.
that?
It was there,
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, I'll definitely assist.
Okay.
Or it can be a group action, whatever you will like.
Yeah,
We
either way
don't
it's
have
fine.
group actions exactly.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Assist can be for die.
Yeah, it can be a die or effect or position.
Okay. So I'll go for the +1 die then with that. And does there happen to be a Devil's Bargain that would be available here?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. That's fine. What was the effect level enough to disable the turret?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll 2. I'll grit my teeth. I'll go for 3 dice then. And then let's clash. I'm so good.
Oh no. Okay.
I think our luck is run out.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think it has.
No, it
Let's
hasn't
be
run
fair,
out.
It's
This
just
is
for
caused the
Anthony.
fuse clock.
Yeah. You're just farming the fuse clock. So, yeah, I think
That would have been for standard effect, right?
no, that was great effect.
Oh, okay. Anthony, do you have your radio?
Do I need to? Yeah, I have a radio. That's
want
fine.
Okay, then I am going to radio you up and be like, Anthony, you need to hurry it up. Get your ass up here. We're all relying on you. And so that's going to be me checking my special box to upgrade a failure to a 4
All right.
by motivating you to fight back.
Nice.
Okay.
We're not gonna-
Yeah. All right. So you get motivated somehow or other, whether or not that's to spite Doc or because of him.
We know which one it is.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and you remember that you set the jaws in inverse control instead of
Yeah, inverted joystick. You're just like, why?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And managed to take out, kind of tear apart this turret. And without it, the vehicle is not really a threat. Like, obviously, there are people inside and stuff, but
Yeah, but they're also
That-
probably scared of a giant metal
That
thing
did
on
only
top.
upgrade it to a 4/5, so it doesn't prevent the consequences.
right. Yep. So the consequence is that the vehicle, which had been moving on like big wheels, does opens a rocket underneath, and since now there are 2 people on it, it starts to try to shake you off in
Like
midair.
barrel roll?
Right? Yeah, basically does a huge barrel roll to try to get you, and I think you're near a cliff or a river or something like that, trying to toss you off into a river or something like that. So yeah, so the consequence is going to be you falling into the river, I guess, unless you want to resist that too.
Getting thrown. I was going to say, okay, so yeah, I guess that's a consequence. How is Kiki? This is going to affect both of us, Kiki and myself.
Because you're both on there. Yeah.
Can I? Because I imagine Kiki. I mean, I guess maybe Kiki could launch her bike off the vehicle as well. But I was going to say, I don't know if I'd be able to get Kiki onto the flying thing, slightly more mobile.
Yeah, then Kiki would lose her bike is the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I might tick where
Yeah.
to resist this.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and I guess I'll roll resist.
Okay.
Do I still
You
have
can
the
use-
exposed?
No, you don't.
Okay. I'm sorry, what was that?
I guess you will until basically after this resist. So
Okay.
you can wear the
Yeah, like the normal, like a bike.
wrist. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep. Just make sure you knew.
No, yeah, that's fine. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I want to resist getting thrown into the water though, the lake.
Yep.
So it's gonna be 2 dice for me.
Sure. Is your special ability.
Yeah, I'm a minimum of 2.
Right.
Although I guess it's slightly relevant. Oh no, it's not. I don't have anything that's 3. So that is 4.
5 stress. 4 stress. You're right. All right.
Could be worse.
Ouch.
So
This does feel like a stressful situation.
yeah, the 2 of you are free though to get back to the ship. But I think we'll take a break right there and come back in a couple of minutes.
Sure.
For,
Yeah. As we vault off
Yeah.
the back of this Humvee.
Yeah,
Right,
I finally
yeah.
regain control of the hover mode. Get this thing
Right.
to right itself midair.
Right.
All right.
Excellent. See everyone soon.
See you.